Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope you had a great week. Tomorrow's the Jewish holiday of Shavuot, or Shavuos, so I'll be out of the office. So I wanted to get to this video out today. Today is May 25, 2023, and this is your Thursday special edition planning video. I mentioned last week when we talked about 401k plans and how to think about them over the long term. If you missed last week, we did talk about a new way to think about taxes in general, and specifically how they work in your planning. Now seems like a good time to remind you that I don't give personal tax advice. This is for informational purposes only so that we can enter into meaningful discussion with your tax advisor. Basics: 401ks and 403bs are some of the more common employer retirement plans available. If you have one or if you have one available to you, you should consider if investing in it is the right thing for your plan. That detail's a big one. Limits as of 2023 are $22,500 at the simplest level, and if you're in small business or self-employed, those numbers can even be higher, and it changes based on your age. As we began to discuss last week, the decision of tax-free growth, tax-deferred growth, or taxable investing is an important one. It is the asset location discussion, not today's topic, so we'll come back to that another day. I would like to suggest that many of you are not checking your 401ks or 403bs often enough. You've heard me say over and over again about checking to be sure your beneficiaries are up to date, and we've even touched on the need to keep an eye out for cyber theft in your plans as well. There are other reasons to keep an eye on your plans. Let's start with the not so obvious ones anymore. Since we know that the average job is no longer a career job and it lasts only an average of 4.3 years for men and 3.8 years for women, but if you have continued your savings as you have moved employers or you bucked the trend and stayed at one job, chances are your life has had changes that have come along with time. Yes, we talk about them a lot: marriage, babies, location, and of course this thing called aging. All of this should be taken into account when you review your retirement plan, like when you review your other investments. Something else to talk about is just plain old performance. This is one that may be difficult if your plan only has a few investment options, but even if it is so, you should keep an eye out for chronic underperformance by your investments. Rebalancing is another thing to keep an eye on in your plan investments. Many plans offer this as an automatic when you sign up, but regardless, look on a regular basis will allow for this to stay in check. How about funds being replaced? Yes, this happens a lot, and no, there's little you can do. There's not so much you can do about it. You should keep an eye on what you own and what changes may occur from swapping out of funds. Let's talk about the lost retirement plan. I've mentioned before that the law recently passed the Secure Act 2.0. It'll bring into existence a nationwide database to help you locate retirement plans that have been left behind. Until that's active, which is at least a few years away, it may be worth your time to check back over your work history and make some calls. Last three items on this topic today. First, please check to see if your plan offers a Roth 401k option. It's not for everyone, but it may be something we want to examine. Second, have you checked the makeup of your target retirement date fund? Yes, the 2040, 2050, 2060 fund you chose when you started. Do you know what it is invested in? You should have a good idea of how it is invested and how it changes as time goes on. I've come across some plans recently with target 2015 funds. Can you imagine that one? Mostly in cash, obviously. Finally, does your plan offer a match? If so, how do you get the most from that match, and can you do that within your plan? So that's all for today, a short one before the holiday. There are a lot of new ways to achieve what I've spoken about today. Please, let's talk about it, how that asset, in many cases the largest that you have, will play into your financial plan. Come back Monday to check out the Monday market update and the review of the week behind and the preview of the week ahead. Have a great day and have a great holiday. Have a great weekend.